We're all living through this AI revolution, and it's happening so fast. But what's really exciting isn't just what AI is doing right now, but where it's all headed. Because believe it or not, the next wave is already building, and it's getting ready to change the game all over again. So that's the big question, right? What comes next? In this explainer, we're going to look past the AI we see today and get a glimpse of a future that's shaping up to be a whole lot smarter, way safer, and maybe most importantly, more of a partner to us. So what the research is telling us is that the future of AI is really pushing in three main directions. First, it's becoming more autonomous, able to make smart decisions on its own. It's also getting more decentralized, which means it's breaking free from those giant single data centers. And this is the really cool part. It's becoming more human-centered, designed to work with us as a collaborator, not just as a tool. Okay, so let's kick things off by tackling the first big hurdle that future AI has to clear, this massive, massive challenge we have with data. Think about how most AI works right now. You use an app, and your data gets zapped over to some huge central server in the cloud to be processed. I mean, just stop and think about that. It's not just slow, it's a huge privacy nightmare. We're constantly sending our most sensitive information far, far away from our own devices. There's got to be a better way to do this. Well, there is, and it's called federated learning. And honestly, it's brilliant. It completely flips the old model on its head. Instead of sending all of our data to the AI model, this brings the AI model to our data. So the AI gets trained locally, right there on your phone or on a sensor in a factory. Your private information never ever has to leave your device. And why is this such a game changer? Well, first off, privacy is just baked right in. Your data stays with you, period. It's also way easier to scale up because you're not creating this massive data traffic jam at one central server. And finally, everything is faster. We're talking way less lag or latency because the thinking happens right where the action is. So for a real-world example, picture a huge factory floor just packed with machines and sensors. With federated learning, the AI on each one of those machines can learn to predict when a part might break down, all without ever sending sensitive company secrets or operational data up to the cloud. It's just a perfect snapshot of AI working smarter, safer, and faster. Okay, so we're making AI safer and more private, but that all leads to an even bigger, more fundamental question. How do we get to a point where we can actually trust it? A lot of the most powerful AI models today are total black boxes. They spit out an answer, which is great, but we have absolutely no clue how they got there. And in high-stakes fields like medicine or aviation, that's a deal breaker. No doctor is going to trust an AI diagnosis if the AI can't explain why it thinks you have a certain condition. It's just not going to happen. And this is exactly where explainable AI, or XAI for short, comes into play. It's an entire field of study dedicated to cracking open that black box. The whole point of XAI is to make AI systems transparent so that we can see the logic, we can question the reasoning, and at the end of the day, we can actually build real trust in what it's telling us. And the benefits here are just huge. XAI builds that trust we need, and it also creates accountability. If an AI makes a mistake, we can figure out why. This is absolutely critical for those big fields like healthcare. And hey, this isn't just a cool idea. There are real techniques being used, like something called Shape and Lime, which basically translate the AI's complex thinking into something you and I can actually understand. Building on that, another huge part of creating trust is shifting away from the idea of fully automated systems. Instead, the future is something called a human-in-the-loop system. This is where the AI isn't just making all the calls on its own. No, it's working together with a human expert, blending that machine-level precision with real human wisdom and gut instinct. Just think about something like robotic surgery. You don't want a robot just doing its own thing, right? No way. You want it to be an incredibly precise, steady tool that is being guided by the skill and expertise of a human surgeon. That partnership, right there, that's the whole point of a human-in-the-loop system. It's adaptable, it's transparent, and it's a heck of a lot more reliable. So, okay, we've got an AI that's private and one that's trustworthy. Awesome. But there's another piece to this puzzle. For AI to really work in the real world, it also has to be efficient and sustainable. And one of the coolest tools for this is something called a digital twin. What is it? Well, imagine a perfect, living, breathing digital copy of a real-world thing, like a whole jet engine or even an entire factory.
Machine learning can then run all sorts of tests and simulations on this virtual twin to see what would happen in the real world, but without any of the risk.
Let's say you run a multi-billion-dollar semiconductor factory. Before you go and change a tiny part of the manufacturing process, you can test it on the digital twin first. The AI can run thousands of what-if scenarios to find the absolute most efficient way to do it, which can prevent some unbelievably expensive mistakes down the road. But there's another side to this whole efficiency thing that we really need to talk about: the environmental cost. Training these massive, powerful AI models we hear about, well, it takes a mind-boggling amount of electricity. We're talking about a major energy bill and a pretty hefty carbon footprint. So, to tackle this head-on, a whole new movement called Green AI is starting to take off. And the mission is simple: find ways to build incredibly powerful AI that is also eco-friendly. It's all about getting those amazing results while using just a fraction of the energy. And the great news is, this isn't just wishful thinking. There are clear, concrete steps we can take. We can design smarter models from the ground up. We can use techniques like pruning, which is kind of like trimming the dead branches off a plant to help it grow better, and quantization, which basically simplifies the super complex math the AI has to do. It all comes down to being smarter and less wasteful with our computer power. All right, let's pull all these threads together. When you combine this push for privacy with the need for trust and this drive for sustainability, you start to see a very, very different picture of our future with AI emerge. The big vision here is for an AI we can actually trust. An AI that's transparent, so we can understand its decisions. One that's governed by ethics, to make sure it's fair. And one that's sustainable, so it doesn't hurt our planet. This is an AI that stops being just a tool and starts becoming a true collaborator in human progress. And this quote from the source material really just nails it. The goal isn't just about making faster, smarter machines. It's about creating systems that are so reliable and transparent that we can finally trust them as real partners in solving some of the world's biggest challenges. And that really leaves us with one final crucial question to chew on. We know for a fact that AI is only going to get more and more powerful. But power is not the same thing as wisdom. So the real challenge for all of us is to make sure that as AI's capabilities grow, it also grows in a way that's transparent, ethical, and truly beneficial for humanity.